first guest that brought us something.
Yeah, the first guest to. Hey, our next guest, they better bring a whole meal, dude. Sandwiches. I like sandwiches. What do you like?
I'm with it. Maybe the orange slice.
Orange slices? Yeah, soccer thing. Orange slices.
Okay. Yeah, you was watching. I made some chocolate abuelita, some Mexican hot chocolate. So leave it in the comments if you like chocolate abuelita or not.
Yeah. You put marshmallows in it or
no? Not on this one.
Not on this but one. Like in the old the American hot chocolate.
Yeah, like the other brand. I forgot what it's called. Like the Nestle brand. The Nestle brand. Yeah, I put some marshmallows on it. Yeah. Do you make it with milk or water?
No. Yeah. Water is like what's the point?
You're broke if you do it with milk.
Yeah. It's like syrup sandwiches, bro.
I am pretty broke, so.
Yeah, but you got that shirt that probably cost $50.
Yeah, that's why he's broke, huh? Because you can go to Cristiano.
Yeah, you guys gave me the notice that I was giving the podcast, so I have to wear my most,
soccer themed.
The most soccer theme and most clean shirt that I have. The best shirt that I have.
Yeah.
Dude, the best shirt that I have.
The best shirt? Because he's the best player then?
This is a cool announcement. Big bro over here. This is my big brother.
Yep. I am Isaac. For you guys that don't know me, I'm Isaac. My little brother, Manny. One of my best friends, Pete here. So yeah, we're here to talk to you guys about a lot of things today.
Yeah. I guess one thing we should just get out of the way too is me and Isaac, we got to play college ball with each other, and then we ended up playing a little bit against each other when you went over to Simpson. So that was cool.
Yeah, we played. What year was that?
I think 17. 17 we were at Yuba, yeah.
We played like preseason together, and then played a whole season together, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like a year and a half or so. Yeah, that was fun.
With Robbie Handy.
Yeah.
Robbie Handy.
Coach Robbie, if you're watching this, hope you're doing well. Appreciate you.
He's in Tennessee now,
Yeah.
Yeah, he just told me, he reached out to me the other day. He's doing he works with like a company that does that helps kids get recruited to like colleges and stuff.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So kind of like what you're doing a little bit.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, just he does it with like a whole.
It's not as cool.
he does it with like I think it's for all sports. They said, and then with
not just soccer.
Yeah, and then I think with me, like, cause I'm with the pro agency, we just are specifically like soccer,
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, he was a good coach, honestly. Like, my story. I didn't play soccer, like in high school. I played soccer like when I was younger, like through like youth levels. But not like, I think high school is very important because you develop as a player.
When you're grown into your body now,
Yeah, exactly. You kind of learn what position you're gonna play in. And I didn't play. I played American football in high school, but like going to like community college playing soccer, I think Yuba College was a great program because it's a very rudimentary program. Like anybody can just walk in and have a chance.
Yeah.
It's not like your other community colleges.
Where it's kind of you have to have a name already.
Yeah, you have to have a name, or you need to be at least at some level to like at least get a chance at the practice squad.
Yeah.
Like college maybe like back then. We used to play community college. It was American River was one of the top ones.
Yeah, and now they still are. And then you got the like Folsom Lake, yeah. Folsom River, Butte, all those guys.
Yeah.
So.
But even when we were in community college. Folsom Lake was not like wasn't the top what they are now, but now they're.
But also we were a very talented group. I mean, we went in and it was like we lost 3-2 to Butte. We tied Folsom Lake.
Butte's another program who's always been.
But we competed with those teams. I feel like now Yuba's maybe dove down a little bit because a lot of the players around here like leave.
Yeah.
Like they go to those schools. Like I don't think any of us would be like, yeah, bro, let's drive an hour and 15 to go play at Folsom Lake. Like
no, for sure. And if you are at that level, like where maybe you played at some academies or you've been playing your whole life and you're at that level to play at Folsom Lake, at American River, at Butte, like go for it, Yeah. But I think
if you have the funds, you can make it there. Like
exactly, if the funds to either drive or live there, I think go for it. You're definitely gonna have a better chance there to go to a better university, But if not, if you're like me, where you didn't play soccer in high school, you don't have no club level or high school level, academy level soccer, and you just literally walked into a program, Yuba College to me was like perfect because especially having a coach like Robbie Handy, where he could develop you. He knew your strengths, knew your weaknesses, knew where to put you, and I think that Robbie was honestly a big reason why I was able to transfer out and play at a higher level at a 4-year university because I feel like he believed in me. He like put his, his best interest in me, and that eventually ended up getting me a scholarship to play at a higher level. So I think that's very important.
No, yeah, and I agree because I think he had a hand on me too. Obviously I went in there basically broken already, right? I went in there with a broken ankle, even though we didn't know because I don't know how you don't know on X-rays if an ankle's broken or not, but you end up playing a season on that.
Yeah.
But I went in there with just being an athlete, kind of like you, not really polished, not really even a soccer player per se, just an athlete. And he shaped me and kind of set the bases of got my touch a little better. I understood the game a little more than just running around, stuff like that. And then just obviously he's patient. And I think that's one thing I learned now at coaching is learning to be patient with kids and even young adults is learning to be patient with them because you see that they could be here even though they're down here, but learning that, like, this one thing I preached a lot is, especially when I coach with other coaches, is you have to, if you don't believe in the athlete and you don't believe in the person, then they, especially if they struggle with like confidence, if they see you don't believe in them, they're not going to believe in them, and then that's where they crash or quit or don't play.
Sure.
And especially with younger kids, like because I coach high school, and have trained high school athletes, I've just noticed that if they have coaches that kind of are yappers or like just, they don't really know what they're doing, then those players usually tank. Usually, there's those rare ones where they rise out of it. But for the most part, like that's why I think coaching is super, super important, especially at the young age. If you have a really bad coach, like it can definitely ruin everything. Because me and you like playing at a high level now. Because now even with you joined us a season or 2 seasons ago now. I would say, I think one of the most important parts of the game is keeping your head and having that confidence to play, to go out there and play at a high level, right? And so I think me and you have spoke about it a lot of like the difference of like Sunday league to us of just the pace of play. And like even you said, I think it was the Sonoma game where you said like it was fun, but it was just different, like the level and the intensity is just a different. Could you speak on that?
Even just practicing with the Yuba FC team with you guys, players like Josh, players like Luis, Junior, like those type of players that have a lot of potential. And overall the whole team, I don't want to miss any other names, but the whole team, pretty solid squad. And just practicing with them, I'm 27 years old, and I'm not 18, 19 like these guys are. But I would say, it's makes it fun, makes it competitive for me, because I'm like, okay, like I need to push myself to compete with these guys, to just keep up, to hang with them. And I think that's very, it's to me it's almost like a challenge for myself, right? I show up there, do the best that I can do, get better me, but also help these guys get better by, whether it's helping one of the forwards, defending them. If they beat me, I'm making them better. If I make it hard for them, I'm making them better.
Exactly.
But also they're making me better. So I take it that way every time I show up to practice. That's how I take it. I'm showing up to get better. I'm going to help these guys get better the way I can. And it's like a challenge for me. And I guess your question is like, the pace of play, the speed is a lot faster than, I would say, even like, of course, community college. There are some teams in the AIA. We played in the NIA, both of us. There are some teams in the NIA, Menlo. There's what's that other university?
Yeah, back then I don't know if they're so good, but like Vanguard now is Division II. They were another team that were pretty talented. College, the Masters, I think, Marymount.
Marymount.
Those are usually pretty good programs where they would even Westmont. They would beat Division I teams when they play because that's a whole other topic of the NAIA and NCAA. The rules and all that stuff are different with internationals, but like you said, like some of those NAIA teams
they're on a different level. They're almost like D2, D1 level.
They're very good.
But I would compare UFC to even that kind of level playing. And of course we go and play teams that are also at that level. That have professional players, ex-professional players, kids on break from college, from top universities. You have Sac State, all the local universities, San Jose State. Yeah, it makes it pretty competitive. It's just a great opportunity for, I would say, for all the young upcoming players graduating high school. I know a lot of people, it's hard to make grades, right?
Yeah.
So if you don't have a scholarship, you're not going to 4-year, community college is not on your radar, or it is, like I think Yuba FC is a great stepping stone to the next level, or to play at the highest level you can get without maybe going to school.
Yeah. It's like another outlet instead of having to go the traditional, go to school.
Yeah.
Because that's how the MLS and USL, for the most part, and even the women's side kind of worked for a long time, is you had to go to college, prove yourself in the college world, then try to go.
Yeah.
And now with the women, they got rid of the draft. I don't know if you guys knew that. There's no longer going to be a draft for
the men's and women?
No, for just the women's. Like, there's not going to be a draft anymore. So now it's just going to be kind of just, if you're good enough, you can just, once you're done playing, you can go sign, go on trials. I'm not really sure the reasoning. I didn't look into it enough. But, like, for example, we played golf a few weeks ago, and one of my good friends, he plays on Sac Republic, Rafa, he is on the Sac Republic squad. He plays games with them, but he's basically, quote unquote, on loan with Galt when he plays in their games. He played against us. So that's another thing, like you were saying, with these young kids, or anyone even trying to make a name for themselves out there, trying to play at a high level against top tier competition, like playing either with us or another like club in the UPSL, MPSL, or like the league that we're going into. I think it's a really, like you said, a really good opportunity for these kids, like you said, that are out here young, ambitious, wanting to go after their dreams and their goals.
Yeah.
And even us older guys who, I mean, you're 27, I'm 26. We got a couple guys like Dakota, who's 30, who's played professionally. He's kind of on the back end. Yeah. Luis, who has played in USL Championship. Ty, these guys who have played at the professional level. Now they just want to, like you said, we just want to stay fit. We enjoy the game. We love it. And we bring the kind of experience and the knowledge and like the leadership of playing at that level. Because it's even every level you jump up to, whether it's USL 1 to USL Championship, huge jump. Then USL Championship to MLS, pretty big jump. Like, and then MLS to Europe, big jump, Yeah. Like, and it all is it's faster. It requires more of your body. You have to be switched on mentally. Like, it's a big jumps. And so you just got to kind of always be ready. I think Ty and us talked about it the other week about being ready for opportunities.
Yeah.
And I think that speaks to like what you're saying. Just you're out there playing, right? You're playing a game, and you don't know who's in the stands, not there for you, but there for someone else.
Oh yeah.
There's tons of stories of that where I was there to watch this guy, and this kid just killed it or made that guy's life hard, and I signed him too. Like we brought both of them.
Yeah. What's that saying? I feel like I'm gonna butcher it, but it's like something along the lines of, like, success is when preparation meets opportunity. Right? I think I said it right. So like, preparation, what goes behind the doors. We see players like Vinny Jr., I know you're into MMA. We see, fighters like, McGregor, we see the big names, John Jones, but we see them literally at their finished product.
Yeah, exactly.
At their finished product. But we don't see what happened behind closed doors. We don't see all like the times they had to make weight, right? And had to sweat all out. The times where like they were training with an injury. The times where, they skipped, certain family gatherings. Why? Because of the practice.
Or didn't go out to drink, or didn't go out to party.
Exactly.
One of my favorite quotes, and I use this, I probably abuse it in coaching, is Usain Bolt said, "I trained 4 years to run 9 seconds." And people give up after 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like, think about that. For 9 seconds, he ran. That was what he was aiming for. Or even like Michael Jordan. Everyone wants to be Michael Jordan. Yeah. You want the endorsements, you want the money, you want the fame, but no one wants to do the 16 years of hard work to be there. And I think that goes to like what you're saying, like
the diets, the training, everything.
And that's not easy, especially in this day, bro. To go and have a strict diet, to make sure you're eating healthy foods or the right foods.
And the lifestyle, not going clubbing, not going,
or getting the right amount of sleep, or when you recover, taking care of your body.
Yeah.
People don't understand how much your sleep, what you drink, what you eat, because you can eat healthy, but if you're not eating the right thing to recover, you're just basically still just eating food. Like it doesn't really. It's a little better than not eating healthy, but it's like you're not eating the right food to build your body up.
Yeah, and that's like also like kind of like you know, we're talking about Ronaldo. It's one of the things why he's one of my favorite player too. It's because I think he's the epitome, the example of opportunity meeting, or preparation meeting opportunity. He becomes successful. You know, like he wasn't never like the best, the tallest, the strongest. He was a scrawny kid, and if you guys know, you know, back when he was discovered, when he was playing at Sporting Lisbon, like he was a scrawny kid, you know. His hair was all weird, acne everywhere. You know, his teeth all messed up. You know, we've seen those pictures before the fame, and like look at him now. You know, the highest paid athlete in the world. You know, the most followed, most followed person ever, the most successful, I would say, in terms of like money, business.
His podcast.
Yeah.
I think he's like the second YouTuber now.
Yeah, like second biggest.
He's the biggest YouTuber ever, like the most followers. Like,
he gained the most followers in one day, right?
Yeah, it was like I think he was on with Mr. Beast. I think it was yesterday it dropped, and Mr. Beast he said he was at like 20. He's like, oh, I think you're gonna get to like 20 million. He's like, that's what I was thinking. He goes, and then it was 60 million in one day, and he's like, bro, what?
That's crazy.
It took him, like he said, like 13 years to get that. And it just shows, like, but it's because I think a lot of people idolize him for that. But like, I don't know, it's kind of a little off topic, but do you know like the story of him in at Libs with his friend?
Yeah, how I guess they were gonna sign whoever scored the goal that game, right?
The most, yeah.
The most goals, and his friend gave him the assist instead of scoring, right?
Yeah, his friend scored the first one, then Ronaldo scored one, and then his friend beat the keeper and looked across and passed it across. So there's no one in the goal. Passed it across, Ronaldo tapped it in, and so then he signed Ronaldo, and he said after that game he never played. But the thing is like Ronaldo, when they ask him, because Ronaldo pays mansion, cars, pays for all of his stuff.
Yeah, he takes care of him.
Yeah, he takes care of him. And when they asked him like why did you, and Ronaldo asked him, why did you do that? And he said, because I could see that you want it more than me. Like you want to play. This is what your dream is. This is what you want to go to.
That's a friend, bro.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like I was just talking to my girl the other day, and I told you yesterday, like, about surrounding.
I'll bleep that.
But no, like I was telling Isaac, the people you surround yourself with, right, is really really important. Like with you two guys, like you guys are both entrepreneurs. I'm an entrepreneur. Taiwo is another guy that works hard for our stuff. Luis Martinez, who has played at a high level, but he has his training business. Like, those are the people I surround myself with, and the same people. I feel like that's why we've been successful, not just with the Yuba team, but just in life and your networking, your connections, your relationships, like just building. And I think like that goes to show like having people around you like that are important, because some people will say, oh, well, he got lucky that he had a friend like that. Like, I'm a big, huge believer that luck follows those that work hard. Like, I don't think lazy people really get that lucky. They might luck out every once in a while, but like true, like quote unquote, what they say is luck. Oh, that guy always gets good luck. Yeah. It's like, bro, he works hard. Like, you don't see LeBron James not working hard and then he gets a lucky bounce or gets a lucky call. We talk about it. It's easier to, we talk with Ty a little bit about getting calls, right? Messi always gets the call. Ronaldo always gets called. I think you get that from just respect. Yeah. Sometimes you're not gonna get it, but I feel like if you go and kick him, they're gonna call it. And then if you go kick some other guy that no one knows, they're just like, like let it play a little bit, we'll let them go, you know. Same with
like American. He's earned the right to like.
American football is probably a better example, because Tom Brady gets pushed and oh my
like
goodness,
all the memes they make about
Mahomes,
like all the memes like at the NFL's for him. And
Roger Goodell throws the flag from up in his press box every time that guy trips on himself. Yeah. So like but you get that from working hard. Like I rarely think, like even Messi, like a lot of people like to say, oh, he's better because he's natural talent. Go look at what he does. He does the same thing Ronaldo. Eats perfect, work, bro. He's out there training all the time. You really think that guy just walked out of bed one day and was just that good? Yeah. He's like definitely talented, but like that guy works hard. Like you can't be that good in whatever you do and not work hard. I would say like even John Jones, he gets he doesn't even try hard. That guy works so hard his whole life to get to where he is. Maybe sometimes he does what he says is not training. Yeah. He's still training. Yeah. Like he's not.
It's like just because he went out and partied the night before the fight doesn't mean he didn't train up to the fight.
Yeah.
And it's like,
he even trains at home.
Yeah.
That guy, bro. Yeah. Now he's changed man, bro. Yeah. He said Jesus is Lord and Savior. He's not doing it anymore.
He had his come to Jesus moment.
Sometimes it takes a little longer than others.
Yeah.
But back to talking about like entrepreneurship. Like obviously you have a business. Kind of tell us about a little bit about that and like the process of like kind of building that up and like just having to run like just a business, you know, as a whole.
Yeah. Well, let's see. I feel like the business that I run right now, I feel like honestly it came out of something that like I think I saw like a demand in,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't really think about it like oh, this is gonna be a business.
Yeah.
I just saw demand. I saw people, you know, they need that demand fulfilled. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do it. And then all of a sudden, like it just kind of like a snowball.
Mm-hmm.
And but I think definitely has to do with working hard for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Like being self-employed takes a lot from you.
Yeah.
Right now, to be honest with you, I'm kind of like trying to step away from that, from the self-employed type of deal. I'm trying to kind of go back into like the, how would you say, like into the
Workforce
corporate
kinda?
world,
Yeah,
or
like
workforce,
Working for
exactly.
someone, yeah.
Because I've been, let's see, 28, 19, so it's been about 5 years, and it's a lot. It's almost having like 2 full-time jobs.
Yeah.
And I mean, we're all here, somewhat. You know, many of us like 3 businesses. You know, you have like another like 3 businesses. You know, and so we know how much it is. Like answering calls. You know, estimates.
Well, yeah, it's
Invoices.
you like you said. I think you said it perfect. You're working the job,
Mhm.
and then you have to work
Yeah.
again running the
Yeah.
job. You know,
Yeah.
like it's a lot of, like, for example, I work at the movie still just
Yeah.
just to get extra cash, and it's easy,
Yeah.
and it's so much
Free
easier.
movies.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
exactly free movies, and like they've mentioned before like about maybe being manager, and I've told them
Yeah.
so many times no. Like I like just showing up for my 8-hour shift to show up, do my job, leave. I don't
Yeah.
have to deal with mean customers. I
Yeah.
don't have to deal with this kid said this or that guy did this.
Mhm.
I can just show up, do my job, leave.
Yeah.
But then obviously like Yuba FC, where it's like I feel like it's 10 jobs in one because
You're always doing it.
I'm coaching,
Yeah.
then I'm trying to play, then I'm coaching my women's team, then I'm trying to run the thing, then I'm trying to get sponsors, then I'm doing
Yeah.
the marketing, then I'm
Yeah.
doing the post. Like, I mean, just like you said, like it's like a job on top of a job.
Yeah.
You know, and it has its rewards, and it
Yeah.
definitely has its rewards, but then it's also you have to look at it, it's taxing. And I think that's one thing that a lot of people don't understand about owning a business or being self-employed. Like, oh, it's so easy, you can just set your own schedule, you can just, bro, it's so much more to it than,
Because it requires discipline.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's so much,
It's all discipline.
and it's so much harder than, and more complicated than I get to set my own schedule. Well, bro, for example, like with you can't just be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna work only Tuesday and Wednesday, and what if no one comes to you with a job those days? What if
Yeah.
they need you on Monday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't just be like, yeah, bro, nah. Because you have to put money, like,
Yeah.
food on the table. You have to make money. Like,
Yeah.
and I think just people don't really understand that
Well,
that side of a
yeah.
business, you know?
Well, you know, like I don't want to discourage anybody trying to go into a business because honestly, it's great. Okay, let me kind of explain. Like I do landscape construction. You know, I hold a hardscape, softscape, kind of stuff, maintenance. But it's physically demanding. I would say that's why, for me, it's what's kind of like 5 years. I think is enough. It's not the money. Trust me. It's not the money. I love talking to people. I love talking to clients. I think that's honestly my passion. Negotiating with people,
Yeah.
talking to people.
You
You
wants to
know,
be a lawyer.
Hey, buddy.
you know, like no,
Good
seriously.
price for you, buddy.
Sometimes, like you know, people come to me and they're like, you know, I have this idea for my yard, and I look at them and I'm like in my head, I'm like, that's a terrible idea.
Yeah.
You know, that's retarded.
You can't leave that, bro.
That's
Yeah, okay.
you know that's literally a terrible idea. But then like I think, okay, if this is my yard, what would I do? If this is my and I wanna create a welcoming place to gather, to this stuff. And I just start pitching, bro. I just start, yeah, you know,
What do
like
you thought about this?
you know, we can do this. You know, how you thought about this? Is we'll create like a more welcoming here to do this. We could add, you know, lawn. I started speaking.
It opens it up.
Opening it up, everything. You know,
Easier to maintain.
colors, all type of, you know, what kind of trees, what kind of like, you know, everything.
People don't think about that stuff.
Yeah, people don't really think about it. Like, they just look at Sunset Magazine and they want their yachts to look like that, and it's like it doesn't work right.
It's not that.
It's like, bro, this is Hawaii, bro.
And it's
exactly.
It's different weather. It's not
Exactly. You want palm trees and it's snowing outside.
Yeah, like,
come
it's
on.
not,
You know, it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
So like that's like honestly my passion. Kind of like I think I have that.
See, passion's checking people.
Yeah.
I think I have that gift of almost like what is that word? Like not convincing, but you know,
like helping, working with people.
Yeah. Like,
well, that's a
seeing
lot of people make. I mean, there's freaking TV shows about it, like
like
makeovers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, and I've got to witness it because I worked a little bit with you, and I know Manny has too. You're really good at it. That's something that I would say you're gifted at.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's like something I like doing that. When I go home and I'm like, man, that was sick. Like you know, like it's a good feeling. Like I negotiated that. I closed the sale. Now we got a project going on. It's a cool feeling. But then I forget about, dang, now I have to do it. Now I have to, like, it's a 2-week project. Oh man, now
all the logistics, like who's the supply truck coming in, when is it gonna be dropped off, who's there to like pick up the order, all that.
Or this guy, like the first day, I'll never forget the first day I worked with this guy when we had to put that totem pole up on the on the freaking mountain, bro. We were climbing up in the tree trying. I remember that took like 2 or 3 hours just to get that thing down there.
Yeah, it was
That's
like
so heavy.
I think it was heavy, bro.
Maybe like a 25-foot totem pole.
Yeah, when they had like the
had wings.
Yeah.
Wings
and we
like
couldn't break it. Remember, like we didn't want it to break, and man, that was a pain. We had to get it like.
You know, that thing was from like Alaska.
Yeah, that was
something like that.
It was like a genuine totem pole.
That was crazy.
But anyways, so that's the whole thing. So it was great. You know, everything was good. I love doing it, but just like the work, like actually the labor. And it's just like, oh man, it's demanding. And for a small business, it's like
you need to get in touch with a couple immigrants, bro. Go to the Home Depot.
Right here, bro.
They're gonna be gone, and they're gonna be gone pretty soon. But they're gonna bleep all this out. But what I was saying though is, you know, it's great being a business owner. This is my passion, but in this year especially, I feel like I locked in, bro. I feel like I locked in, kind of like Ronaldo in the 2018 Champions League final, bro. You know, 2016 was that 2016 Champions League final. I locked in, bro, and I feel like I did what I needed to do, and I feel like I set myself up for the future. And so, if many knows, I've told them I'm currently working on getting my real estate license. And I haven't told you, huh? So it's the first time you're hearing this.
You mentioned it, but I didn't know you were actually in the process of getting it.
He's got his nail tech license.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a esthetician. So you need
you need a facial.
No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I'm in the process of getting my real estate license. I'm going back to school for I'm gonna go through the fire academy.
Oh, you did tell me about this one.
I'm going through the fire academy. I already.
You have your pilot license, right?
Huh?
You have a license for flying planes, right?
Well, I eventually want to do that, but I'm thinking like I really want to get like step in the door, and I kind of want to have both the real estate and the firefighting because, like I said, I feel like I have a passion towards talking to people, to clients, negotiating, and I feel like real estate is kind of something that does that still.
Yeah.
You talk to a lot of people, you meet a lot of people, you negotiate deals, and without the laborious work.
Yeah.
You know, it's more like paperwork, but you're still talking to people. And honestly, firefighting, it's something that it's always been in the back of my mind. I feel like it's a
I remember you did like in high school, that was like your senior project, right? Like you wanted to do like finish it off and like.
Yeah.
You did like a ride along with firefighters and you did all that stuff like that.
Yeah, in high school, in my senior year, I did like a whole project on like how I wanted to be a firefighter. You know what's crazy? It took me 10 years. I graduated high school 10 years ago to go full circle and go back into it. So, that being said, if you have something in your mind, like if you're in high school right now, or you have something in your mind that's always been like, you know what, I wish I could done this. Like, it's cool waiting, but don't wait 10 years.
Yeah. I don't feel that it was necessarily a waste of time. The way you're saying it is almost like don't wait too long, all this. But I think at least from like, because when you're my brother, I know you, right? I generally think it actually helped forge you into like the person you are, because it's those skills like that you already naturally had. You were able to like hone them and make them better. You know what I mean? So it's not necessarily a waste because I think it was sort of like a stepping stone in the right direction. I think it would be a waste if it's like, oh, like I want to be like a firefighter, but you know I'm gonna just settle in. Like there's nothing wrong with working at like a freaking like a Safeway, right?
Yeah.
But like if you're just working at Safeway just because like you want to work there,
Yeah.
like because that's not gonna help contribute to your goal. Like sure you'll get you the money, but it's not gonna like you're not working. You're not working. Not even that, but you're not working the skills that you want to work in.
You're
you know
not
what I mean?
going towards anything.
Exactly.
You're just
Like even like I would say like maybe even like an internship. Even if you're not taking money, but if you're around, if you're making connections, right? Like let's say like you did it or like me, right? Like I do an internship like at some sort of like production company, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even if I weren't getting paid, it's the like the fact that I'm learning and that I'm making connections with all these people. To me, I would see that as a step forward because it's still in the right direction. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I don't know. I think like I get what you're saying, but I still think it was all like God's plan. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of working in your favor.
I agree with you, but to me, maybe I'm too hard on myself.
Yeah.
But I do feel sometimes that I took too long. I took, took 10 years for me to get something going, but
yes.
But I do agree with you, but I'm grateful because I am here now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm grateful because I'm here now. I'm here with you guys. You know, I'm here. You know, like I feel like I've never got to know Pete. You know, I feel like through this business, I feel like you wouldn't have maybe gotten into like, because you know, for a while you and I we were like in it together.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for like the first maybe 3 years or so, we were in it together. Like I feel like you also developed certain skills that eventually made you enter to one of your other business that you have. You know, production is one of your business, but you also do, you know, like electric work and you do a lot of other stuff too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I am grateful, and I think we just have to see those things as like, you know, yeah, it took me 10 years, but you know, it's all good. It's all good, you know. Baruch Hashem. Praise God.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's funny that you're talking about this because me and a guy that I work at the movies with, we literally were just talking about today. He's young. I think he's like barely 21, and we were talking about it. We both feel young. Like I was like, yeah, bro, I feel like I'm 18 still, like 16, 17. Like in my brain, I'm that. But then, but then if you look at it, bro, look how much like how stupid and immature I was at that age.
Bro, don't even get me started, bro.
Like, bro.
We all were, bro. You
yeah,
know,
I know,
like,
but that's what I'm saying. Like, sometimes, like you said, like for example, right? You're married now. Like, you have a family. Like, as a firefighter, like I was talking, because his friend, brought it up because his friend is a firefighter, and he goes, that guy, all his life is firefighting. He goes away for like 16 weeks, and he just fights fires away from his family. Like, that would be hard on Carly, right? Mm-hmm. Like that would be hard on any of our girls or even our families if we weren't married. Like to just go away and like yes, maybe you're doing something you love and you're helping people, but that's hard. It's just like Ty was saying in the army, like having to get deployed or having to move or having to take your family from here to here. Like one thing I talked with Keiko, who played with us, who I mean, he has his own. You can just type in Keiko and it'll pop up on Google. That's how famous he is. But one of his things he was talking about was, when he moved to Sacramento to play for Republic, his family his kids started going to school, they made friends, and it was gonna have to take a lot for him to move to another MLS or USL Championship team away from Sacramento. Yeah. Because that's where his family was. His family was planted there, and so I 100% get what you're saying because I'm the same way. I mean, I've went for what I wanted since the get go, like, and that's just me, and it's happened to work out. It doesn't always work out exactly how you want it or in the timing you want it, but like Manny said, like I've got to know you really well and I've got to see you grow over the years, and I feel like it has been like, just as a man, like you've matured a lot, and I think you now are ready to make moves like that, you know, like.
No, and I do agree with both of you. Yeah, you both of you kind of touched that point of that journey was necessary, that to forge kind of like the journey ahead, right?
Yeah, the person I am
today to get me ready for the journey that's coming ahead. And I do agree with that, and I just hope that, you know, almost 30. You know, turning three. I'm 27 now, but it seems like 3 years is a long time. But jeez, like I feel like I was 22 yesterday.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I feel like I was 18 even like 2 weeks ago. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like I feel young still. You know, I of course like after playing in like 2 doubleheader games, my legs feel sore, my knees, ankles. You know, you don't have to wrap my ankle before we play tonight.
Yeah.
But you know, but yeah, I mean I still feel young, but I feel like when you hit 30, I feel like, man, if my 20s went fast, never mind how fast my 30s are gonna go.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So I definitely want to be prepared and take my 30s seriously.
Yeah.
Not just coast. You know.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. We literally talked about that with Ty the other day, where it's like one of the quotes I heard was, "You grind in your 20s, so you can work in your 30s, so that you can chill in your 40s." Like that's kind of like the mindset like I've had, and obviously, financially maybe it hasn't come to what I want as much as like I've been successful, but I want more. But I feel like I've kind of set like the foundation and the ground for what is to come. You know, like if I never started this club, I never would have gotten into coaching. That's what got me into coaching. Like I just wanted to play, and then just from there, having to run a club and having to kind of be behind the scenes of, all right, like, hey, how do we handle this situation with this player? How do I do this? And then with the women's team, then having to be involved in that and being like, all right, like being kind of thrown into that, and like there's things like of just not understanding how much you deal with coach. Like I'm not gonna lie, I was probably, a lot of coaches liked me as a player, but I know I was a headache for them because I was just stubborn. Like that's just me. Naturally, I'm a little stubborn.
Yeah. Still are.
Now I'll admit it. And
hey Sam, if you're watching this, leave in the comments if it's true or not.
She's gonna thumbs up the video.
I know, for real. But that was just something that I never really. I understood they did a lot, but I never understood it until I became on the opposite end. And I understand where you're trying to tell this kid to do something and they just don't.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, this guy pisses me off. Or you're trying to do something and they do the opposite, and then you ask them why, and they say just because.
Yeah.
Because I just wanted to do it this way, and it's like I understand now, and I think that's, like you said, it's made me grow as a person, and but just also like in my goals and dreams that I want to do now. Where like I told my sister the other day, I said one day like I want to be on TV coaching. Like that's what my next one of my goals is to coach at the national or the pro level, or maybe the international level. Like those are things that like I want to go to. Obviously, I have a long journey in front of me, but like those are things like dreams and goals that I have that like so far like I've reached the dreams that I want. And like with you, like maybe it takes 10 years, but maybe you get everything in the next 6 months.
Yeah.
You know, like I mean, I read the Bible often, and like one of the things that comes to me, which is a little different, is like the story of Joseph. Like how that guy had the dream and saw the dreams of, I'm gonna be the ruler. And sometimes you tell people that maybe they didn't need to hear it. You know, maybe it made them mad, maybe it put them out. And in all of that, right, those people sold him into slavery. We know the whole story, but it took him how many years until he eventually, and he had to go through all the stuff of being a slave, then working his way up to be second in command, to then getting put in prison, to then working his way to be second in command. Like, and then the dream came true after all those years. But it was like we say, like God's plan. Like that was, it took him all that, and he stayed true to himself and stayed true to
to his faith.
And then he was given a lot in a short period of time. And sometimes I think we lose sight. Like it goes back to what we're saying. Like we train hard for those 4 years to run 9 seconds, and maybe the first time you do that is 4 years, and it's 4 years of you being in the desert. They say sometimes. And then in those 9 seconds, you get everything you could have ever wanted. So I think it's cool that you're stepping out into finding like those dreams that you have and going after what you want. Because I'm a big believer. My dad's preached that into me of God doesn't give you dreams for no reason. Like God gives you dreams and you're supposed to go after them. And if you choose to sit on them, that's fine. Just I think it's one of those things where we talk about like wasted potential. I think everyone has potential in life. And I think it's going after your dreams and working hard. Because it's not easy. Going after your dreams is not easy. Like I can tell you right now, wanting to be a firefighter is not going to be easy. And running a business is not easy. Being married is not easy, right? Being in a relationship is not easy. Like all that is hard. And if you want to just take the easy way out and leave every time it gets hard, or just be like, I mean, me and you talk about with sponsorships, right? It takes a lot of effort and time to go talk to people and try to build connections and try to raise money. That's hard.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of time. It takes time out of what I'd much rather not be doing that.
Yeah.
But I have to, right?
Yeah.
And I enjoy the part of talking to them, but having to drive to their place and then having to set up meetings and having to plan out little like presentations, like that takes time and effort and work. Having to edit every single logo of every person that's ever been interested to put them on the sleeve, then the chest, then the back, then the shorts, then the jerseys. Like
it's almost like you're like a graphic designer / marketing / owner, manager, coach.
But I think that's the best part because like, bro, like, and I mean, it's gonna sound kind of like arrogant, but I think we're a talented set of individuals. You know, we might not be like the best in our individual fields. Like, you know, you might not be the best soccer player. Like, you might not be the best like construction worker in the field. You know, I might not be like the most handsome guy. But like, you know, like we are like kind of like we're what's the word? Proficient, and we are like we take like pride in our work, and we do things
resilient.
Like, we do things well. And it's
you
like,
know what I like about us too?
And we're well balanced.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, like you don't plan on being a graphic designer, but like you do it. You know what I mean? Like you basically.
I never really liked it either.
It's like
I feel like if there's something like an obstacle, then is what I feel like we all have in common. There's an obstacle like, oh, we can't do this because we need this. We figure out a way to get it done. Either we learn to do it, we find someone who knows how to do it, or we like do the research, right? Like YouTube. You know?
Yeah.
Like, you know how many times during like work, you know, I like for example, like I remember my very first time I installed like turf, like artificial turf. No idea how to do it, right? And this is how you learn. Anybody like doing this kind of stuff, you learn by saying yes, I can do it, and I'm willing to learn. Right? You do the research. You hire somebody that's done it before, and you learn from that person. Now the next time, now you have added a weapon to your tool belt.
Yeah.
You know, to your
arsenal.
And I feel like that's like thing we do, like graphic design. You have nobody to do Photoshop.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
You know, you have nobody to do. You know, like for example, you do your own mixing, sound engineering.
Yeah.
You know, you do your own editing.
Yeah. Don't say that because they're gonna call me out for the quality in all these videos. Bro.
You know, so like this guy is like the whole packet put together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And why? Because you know we have to get ahead. You have to keep going. You have to keep going.
Yeah, I think we. I mean, I keep going back to what Ty, because we talk about this a lot with Ty, of kind of being like resilient. Kind of being where it's like we're not gonna just sit on our ass and just be like, dang, like I really wish I could do this, or I really wish we could get this done. And another thing is, again, being around good people, bro. How many times do we call and talk about ideas? Whether it's me or you. I mean, this was something that randomly popped up when I called Isaac about something stupid. I think we were talking about like buying jerseys from Mateo jerseys. Like I don't even think it had anything to do with Yuba. And then it turned into like, hey, what do you think about if we did a Yuba podcast? Like to kind of let people get to know the players a little more. Kind of put a different side to just soccer on it, you know? And then he was like, good idea, right?
Yeah.
And then it turned into like talking to you, and you're like, bro, yeah, I can do it. I've done it before. I mean, I used to think your podcast was really cool. Like the name was cool. All of it was like unique, and you just do it, right? And it was never like, oh, I went to school for it. Like, yes, I went to school for business, but like you can even ask my professors. Like, I was always so proactive, asking them questions. How do we do this? Or just doing it. Like that's the one thing. One of my professors, she always would tell me like, would be like kind of amazed that I would just go do it. Like, and she always applauded me for that. Like, she's an entrepreneur herself, and she's saying like, you just gotta go do it. If you don't do it, like I know it's so Nike, just do it. But that's so true about in life. If you want something, that whole thing about failing, you learn by failing. I agree with that to some point, but I always think every time you try something new, you're gonna fail. Yeah. You can try something new and be successful. For example, I had never started a team before. Not even a Sunday league team. Not even an indoor team. And I was successful. Yeah. I'd never done graphic design.
Doesn't mean it's gonna be easy or that it's gonna be like the best, but you don't necessarily have to fail.
Yeah. I wouldn't say that you was a failure. Like obviously there's things I want to do, like win every year and be undefeated every year, like the first season, but we're not. But we're successful in the sense of why I made this team was to help players. Like I was telling Isaac, these young players go to the next level. Have I done that? I've done it on the men and women's side. Giving them a platform to play.
You've accomplished what you were set out to do.
What our goal was, and now it's to grow that, right? Now it's to make it bigger and bring more people to buy into the program, and I think that's goes back to what we've been talking about. Of we see something and we're gonna figure it out. Whether it's money, whether it's we need to find a field, whether it's we need more players, whether it's that with me at least, I've looked at it and been like, all right, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. And I mean, I've been a big believer. I just trust God to kind of like if I have a big problem.
Inshallah.
Yeah, and I've just kind of just said, all right, like I feel like you opened this door for me to go into. I'm stepping through it through faith, and I'm hoping through faith that this is the door you've opened for me. And so far it has been, and I've kind of just like when people ask me, how do you do all this? How do you do that? Half the time I don't know. Half the time I just go into it and it just has worked out. And I think again that's one, just I'm in the right place and I'm in my calling, and two, I've surrounded myself with great people, whether it's you guys as friends, whether it's I have a great family, or just the people involved in the team, whether from the players to the people that have helped to the sponsors. They're all great people, and we've been able to grow it as a whole together. Like yes, maybe my name's attached to the front, but it takes way more than just me. It takes not everything is my idea. Not everything is just for me. It comes from talking to you guys, or talking to the men's team, or talking to the women's team, or talking to Matt Hubbard, who's my assistant coach with the women's, or talking to Chava, who has helped coach at times, or Renee, the coach that you call it, like just talking stuff like that, or talking to Mark and Ben at the Oakland team, who I got to coach against, and I got to learn from them, who have high coaching license, who have both been in the game for a long time. I've got to learn from that, and I think that's another thing that you said. Being a sponge, I think, is very important in the world, to be able to absorb, but then you can also squeeze out the parts you don't want. I think that's the problem where a lot of people say, don't be a sponge in the world, right? Oh, because you can suck in all the bad. I disagree. I think you should soak up as much as you can, and then you wring yourself out and get rid of what you don't want, and keep what you do. And that's kind of the mindset I've had, because I've went and got horrible advice from people, and I've been like, yeah, that is not going to work, or that's horrible advice, or you handled that bad. But I learned from it. I saw what they did and it failed. Why would I do the same thing that someone failed, right? That's why they always say, like, the oldest in a family, I mean, me and you can speak on it, we kind of are the, like, trailblazers, per se, of we go forward and we're going to stumble. Yeah, and the parents learn from us, the kids usually learn, all right, but don't do that, because look how mom reacted when Peter Isaac did that. And I think it's a gift to have people like that in your life that you can learn from. And I think that's another thing with us three. We all have our different life experiences, whether it's us, me, him playing in the world, or just in relationships, or working, or running a business. We all have experiences that this has worked, this has not worked, and we can kind of bounce those ideas off each other. Of like, well, why do you think this wouldn't work, or why do you think this would work? And we can talk it out. And I think that's another thing. I guess it's kind of been somewhat of a main topic on this episode so far, is surrounding people with good people. Surround yourself with people that you can grow with, you can learn with.
It's really true. Like what they say, like, you know, tell me who you're surrounded with, who your friends are, and I'll tell you what you are.
Yeah,
you know, it's so true. You know, you know, I was listening to this podcast.
Top G podcast,
or you know, one of my guys about, you know, that I read his books, Ken Coleman, is really good on workforce. You want to get into the workforce, and teaches a lot of principles about like connectivity, kind of what you're talking about, like connecting with people, yourself with the right kind of people. But it talks about like also about, I think there was like I think it was like a big university. I want to say Stanford or Harvard, one of those two. That it talks about like they asked like successful people, like CEOs, like successful people, like how many people are in their close group, like close friends. And, you know, a lot of people may say, oh, you know, he had like 10 friends, 15 friends. Oh, just look at his follower count. He has 10,000 followers. He must have 10,000 friends. And he was like, no, actually, he said, like, you know, they asked the CEO, they asked this leader, this person in charge, started a prestigious company. You have 2 to 3 friends, closest friends.
Yeah.
Very small. Like, who was your closest? They would name 2 people. They would name 1 person, 2, 3, no more than 3 at times. So their circles were like super close together. So like, you know, that means that like, you know, you really gotta be careful, or like you filter out who you surround yourself with, You know, it's not just anybody.
Yeah.
It's not just anybody. It's just who comes in the door. Yeah, everybody comes in the door. Like, you know, and I think Manny, I think he told me, you know, for his wedding, he had like a tier of guests.
Oh, yeah.
He had tiers, right? And I kind of took his idea of guest tiers to friend tier of friends.
Damn, bro, they're about to be like, what tier was I in?
You know? So like, and I took that, you know, and I consider you guys being the first tier,
Yeah.
right? But we always have those friends.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say who, you know, but we know who they are. They are in the second tier, third tier. You know, they're friends that, you know,
They're fun to hang out with.
fun to hang out
But
with.
they're not people you spill
Exactly.
your dreams to, or spill.
There are people like,
Their confidence.
yeah.
Well, let's like go back to like what I said about Joseph, right? You tell that dream to one or two people that understand and are on the same length as you. I was literally talking to this with my grandma the other day, where I said, like, imagine if Joseph told that to a few of his friends, right, that were on the same page with him. They get it, right? But these 12 brothers were jealous of him. His dad treated him better than them. His dad didn't even let him work. His dad let him go to school while they all had to work. And then he said, oh yeah, one day you guys are going to bow down to me. That's going to piss him off.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right? But it's the wrong people. Like my grandma always says, like, don't cast your pearls among the swines.
Yeah.
Because they'll eat it.
Yeah.
They don't understand what the value is. And I think that goes to like what you're saying with friends is you're not saying you're not your friends.
Yeah.
But it's those are your closest friends that you build with.
Yeah.
And then you have friends that you can maybe bounce ideas off, and then you have your friends that you like to hang out with, your friends that are your peers,
Yeah.
and then it goes on, right?
Yeah.
So I agree
Totally
with you. I agree with you on that
I
one.
think that's like I like this because it's a life lesson, right? It's not even just like something that's specific to any like individual thing. It's so broad. Like you could even apply this to football or just sports, right? And in general, like I remember, like when I was in wrestling, I used to like take it super seriously, right? And then I started hanging out with some of my buddies who like didn't take it as seriously. So like when I went from like, cause it works the opposite too, you know.
Yeah.
So I was like super like focused, always like coach was talking, and I'm like just like like what's up, like tell me, like I want to know exactly what you're saying, like tell me. And then I went from that to like like you know just like coach is talking like oh yeah what's up it's kind of you know like. And
well, you usually see though by performance the ones that are locked in.
Exactly. I started losing like some of my duels. Like I would like give up points or I'd lose or like you know I'm like I look at it I'm like man like if I really would have focused like I think I could have done a lot better. You know what I mean? And I see that and it's like that's an example of how it went negative, right? And like they were cool guys. Like you know those guys are a great time. But like in terms of like
where your
like
goals
what was
and
my
dreams
goal?
were at the time.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I could have done something better. I could have maybe like gone further in that. You know, I think it's the same thing in soccer. Like I remember last time we were talking about with Ty, like how the team like really what it needs is like leaders. It needs people to step up. You know, and I think that's why. And I mean, I'm not trying to like call shots or anything like that. You know, but like or like in terms of or not call shots like what's called like call people out.
Yeah.
But like I think sometimes it's sort of like on the field and in sports and just in everything you do, it's gonna reflect who you are as a person, right? So if as a person you're lazy, if as a person you can't hold the job, or if as a person you can't you're not fit, if you on your own aren't doing like stuff that's active, it's gonna reflect on the field because you're gonna bring that same mindset of like it's alright, like my friend will get it. Like if my mom's paying my rent on the field, you're gonna be like, oh, my buddy's gonna cover me when I mess up. You know what I mean? And it's not like I'm not saying there's like something wrong with your mom paying rent, but I'm saying it's kind of like
the mindset of someone else will take care of it.
You know, if someone's like doing it, like that's gonna
get done.
It's gonna reflect, right? Whereas you like have it like a different. It makes sense, right? Like
there's this one video that's kind of been going around of Mbappe with PSG where he lost the ball, did a bad pass, and he ran all the way back and tracked him down and slide tackled and won the ball back. And it was like, if he does it, why the heck is this high schooler not doing it? And it's because they always teach you when you're growing up, you lose the ball, win it back.
Yeah.
Right? Especially as an attacker. You know how easy it is to lose that ball and just stand there and be like, there's 10 other guys that they're paid to defend. I'm paid to score goals. But he went back and won it. And what that does is everyone else on that pitch looks at him because obviously he's one of the greatest footballers playing right now, and he's a leader, whether he has the armband on or not. And they look at him and be, if Mbappe's gonna run, I'm gonna run.
Yeah. Exactly.
But it goes the opposite. Mbappe doesn't want to run.
Yeah.
Then Vitinha doesn't want to run.
Yeah. What should I run?
Then next thing you know is, I don't want to run. I don't want to go for it. Like he'll get it.
Yeah.
Marquinhos can get it.
Yeah.
And it works that way at every level, going all the way down.
World Cup champion Mbappe can do it. You can do it too. You should do it. I should say.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
speaking of the World Cup, you know, in 2 years, well, maybe a little less than that, like a year and a half.
Yeah.
You know, the World Cup's gonna be here in the U.S. 2026. I'm pretty excited about it.
So am I.
I think
We're
it's
rocking. We're rocking for sure.
100%. It's one of those things where, honestly, I think it's one of those events that might happen only once in your lifetime.
Yeah.
You know?
I think the Colombians will like raid the stadium again.
Yeah.
I do.
That
I believe it.
Honestly, probably we will, bro. But it's like one of those events that like it's like the epitome of football. 4 years of culmination of World Cup qualifiers, of tournaments, the Euros, the Copa America, the Nations League.
This is the first World Cup with more teams added too. So there's more smaller teams. Like New Zealand gets an automatic bid because they won the Oceania division. Like there's a couple more African teams that are now bid in. And so there's gonna be like I think there's 12 more teams than there used to be. Huge. Do you know the difference between those 12 teams?
It's also the first time it's gonna be hosted in 3 countries.
Yeah.
Because it's
US.
Canada, U.S., Mexico, right?
Yeah.
Basically, what is it, NAFTA or whatever?
The NAFTA,
right? Is it NAFTA or was it trade agreement?
National, or it's a North American trade agreement. Yeah.
NAFTA, right?
Something like that.
It's like basically those countries, U.S., Mexico, and Canada.
But
and it's
Cartel's gonna make some money, huh, bro?
Bro, but like what I'm really excited about though, and like I know people don't think about this, but it's the first World Cup that's gonna be like in a.
With Trump is president. No, okay.
Well, that too. I think honestly that it's gonna be great because the first World Cup where it's gonna be like in a first world country since the Germany World Cup in 2006, and in my opinion, that was the biggest World Cup that we've had in this probably since the 2000s, since probably the last U.S. World Cup either. You know, 2010 South Africa, but you know how South Africa is. You know, very corruption. It's like Mexico.
Qatar,
You know,
Qatar. Are you calling Qatar not a first world country?
No, not at all.
No, because Qatar
Russia,
got in trouble.
I'm just joking.
You know, Russia.
Is it when they use like slave labor to build the stadiums and all that? Yeah.
And people were dying and they were just covering it up.
Honestly, but that gets into like the whole like the corruption behind like FIFA and all that. Because like they know, they're aware of that, and I think like it's kind of like on them to like. I mean, again, because they got paid to go there, right?
To be fair, the people that were involved did get fired and banned pretty much, but the problem is like it's just like any kind of big corporation like that. The only people that get fired are the people that names were dropped.
Yeah.
You know, there's people's names
they
that were
they
not
hide
dropped.
behind like the FIFA.
Yeah, I think the importance of like being the World Cup back to a first world country and no knock to any other country, but I think that the difference between first world countries and countries like Qatar, Brazil, we have the infrastructure to hold people. We have the hotels, we have the public transportation, the airports, everything.
Water.
Yeah, like literally, because that's how important that is.
Yeah.
Like when
It's
people
the
in Brazil,
infrastructure,
go and they can't be sanitized, people get sick. Americans get sick.
Hepatitis. Just touching.
So that's why a lot of tourists don't go to those things. But when they do, it's not from, from the top countries.
Yeah, or they go just for the games. They're not going to pour into the economy.
Exactly. And like the last World Cup, the biggest World Cup, it was in the U.S. The last time it was here in 1994. It was like the biggest World Cup. And I think being 3 countries hosting it, being that it's the new format of the World Cup, more teams, like the money involved. Like honestly, I think it's gonna break all kinds of records in regards of
and also with soccer,
ratings.
Soccer in 1994 was peanuts compared to how it's viewed now in America.
Yeah.
With the women being successful and now also the men, they have a young team that's starting to be a little more successful with Pochettino now coaching. I think they're gearing up to have a pretty successful World Cup for the United States. I would
We're
say.
making FIFA in the World Cup great again.
Speaking on the World Cup, who do you have a? Is it too early for you to give out some favorites or
favorite? I think it's a little early. But teams that I'm liking right now, how they are looking, I'm going to talk about South American teams. I really like Colombia right now.
Mm-hmm.
I really like how they're playing. They have a young squad. The only thing is that I have that I don't like about them is they're very inexperienced in big games. You know, they don't have that experience that teams like Argentina have, or teams like other South American teams like Uruguay, Paraguay, Brazil. You know, although Brazil's not going through a really good time, but they have an experience that, when you're a big
game
when you're a big team, you have those big players. They always show up in big games.
Like Peru.
Peru. I hope Tobiro's not watching.
Oh yeah.
But in Europe, honestly, I think the English, since they're playing in the U.S. and the U.S. supports the English team a lot.
Our privilege.
They're very. The support I think there is big.
Yeah.
Why? Because of the Premier League. The Premier League I think is the ratings here in the U.S. are huge of the Premier League.
Everyone's a United fan.
Everybody. So I think they're gonna as soon as the U.S. gets eliminated,
Germany, or
everyone's gonna root for the English team. So I think they might have a chance too. Argentina is looking weak right now, but I do want to say they're maybe going to a reconstruction.
That kind of phase of getting Messi kind of out.
Because you never know how many buttons they'll push to get them another World Cup.
Yeah, it's for real though. It's bro speaking facts.
Yeah. First game penalty.
What about France? Do you think France is still the team to beat?
France, they didn't in the Euros.
Yeah.
They didn't really perform how I wish they would have.
Do you think it was due to them? In my opinion, I feel like they were playing a lot of the old heads that shouldn't have been out there. I don't think Rabiot should have been out there. I think Griezmann's washed now. I think there's young players that should be out there, and I think they're that coach is holding on to what was good instead of letting them go.
Think about the young players, Colomboani, Dembele. Those top players.
But not even that's what I'm talking about. These guys are guys that have been there they're young-ish, but they've been there for a while and they have not performed. Why are we leaving off other guys that have done well?
I agree.
There's guys like Kingsley Coleman. He's played with France. He does well. Why does he not play more? Why is it always Dembele? Why is it always Dembele? It doesn't to me it doesn't make sense. To me that's where we kind of get to this thing of it's the name. And I was listening to the radio today and they're talking about the 49ers and the same thing of the name carries value. It's not even what they're doing on the field anymore. It's just the name is carrying this value of, they have potential, so we should play him. That guy has had how many years since he left dormant of supposed to be a potential world-class player? He has not been that. He's injury prone. He shows up every once in a while when he decides he wants to play good. I just think there's so many better options France has, especially with their young. Bro, they're young. They're so young. They have so many young. Theo Hernandez is just not playing with them. He's been a top tier left back for the last 5 years.
Yeah, but I think it's too early to really say. I didn't mention Portugal if you guys noticed because I'm a Ronaldo fan. But I think it's early still. I think it's early. I think once we start getting closer, we start seeing who the teams are. I mean, Portugal. I've heard somebody say I forgot.
But the new coach has done well.
I forgot where it was. Oh, Martinez.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's done well, but I forgot what. I don't know if it was ESPN or Fox. I forget who it was, but they were saying how Portugal might be a favorite in the next World Cup, and they were a favorite in the last World Cup too. Portugal.
Do you think they were a favorite, or do you think the fans they were someone the fans wanted to win? Because I don't know necessarily if you look at the rankings and everything. I think they were ranked 7 or something.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say if I was ranked 7 out of 24. That makes me a favorite. I'm in the top third.
Right.
Where Argentina was number 1 from the get-go because everyone knew that FIFA was going to press those buttons.
And they were also 37 games unbeaten.
Yeah, they're in there. And in my opinion, if Ronaldo keeps doing what he's doing, he's going to be on that roster in 2026.
I mean, he's 39 now. He will be 41.
That's crazy.
He will be 41 next World Cup, which is not
Was,
super old
wasn't
either.
Pepe just 41?
Pepe was 41. Also, Rafa Marquez in Mexico, he was 40
Yeah, it's
something
not super
too.
old, but it's like it's old, bro.
But I'm saying
for
a
that
lot
age.
of people thought this is this guy's last chance, and I think we kind of thought that a little bit with him coming out of United and the way that he was mistreated and kind of kicked out in a sense. I think a lot of people were like, "Oh, this guy's washed."
Yeah.
Then he went over to Saudi and has put up amazing numbers, and he still is. And then even this international friendly period, bro, that guy has been.
I've heard an argument say that like, because obviously the Saudi league isn't as competitive as like the English league. So like, what would you say to that to that argument? I'm not disagreeing or anything.
Obviously, the Prem is way tougher.
It's the
than
best league in the world.
Yeah, and I would say the only tier that you can compare that to is MLS, like, and where Messi's at. And the thing is look, Ronaldo's older, in a league that I consider I think is tougher. I think it's different playing styles. I think American might be a little more demanding on your body because they want to do that whole kick and run thing.
Yeah.
But the thing is the Inter Miami team is just Barcelona. It's just the Barcelona team.
The thing about the MLS though is that I would say that the Saudi league, they're more balanced. Like there's like a lot of teams where
like
they have big names, big names.
Yeah, top
like,
6-7 teams are pretty good.
Like you have names like Benzema.
Yeah.
You know, a 5-time.
And they're young.
Champions
Tony
League
just
winner.
went there.
Who?
Ivan Toney from England.
Ivan Toney,
he's
bro, he's
28.
so good. Ivan Toney.
He went there.
Ivan
These
Toney,
young guys.
which honestly, I love that guy. I love
Same.
that guy at Burnley, right? He was like
Brentford. I think it was Brentford.
Brentford, yeah. I love him. I don't know why he went there, dude. He's so good.
Yeah.
Money.
But you know, Conte also went there. Neymar went there. MLS wish they had Neymar.
Yeah. I think MLS wishes they had all those guys. I mean, you had the thing with them is they're
Sané.
young. They're young. They're like Sané was like 30.
Yeah, they're not washed.
They're not washed players. Like I'm sure a lot of these top teams in Europe will buy. There's top teams in Europe right now trying to buy all these guys back.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they can't match the release clause.
No,
and they can't get paid
that.
for the transfer, so they'd only be on their terms. Like Neymar getting hurt and then being like, "Yeah, bro, you've played 2 games or 6 games in the last 2 years, and we're paying you freaking $2 million a year." Like, nah, bro. Or I mean, $200 million a year. Like, we're cool. Like, let's just move on. You know.
Yeah.
But I just think in the Saudi league, maybe the bottom tier teams are worse than MLS bottom tier teams. But I think as a whole, the league is stronger. If you took those, I'd say top half against the MLS top half, these top half win more.
Yeah.
Against those teams than
Okay.
vice versa.
But
So it's not as even, but it's more extremes. So they got worse teams, but they also got better teams.
Yeah.
Whereas MLS is just more average,
I think
but
they're-
it's just
Yeah,
kinda,
and I think again, like I said, it's to me MLS is boring. You have a few teams that play a little unorthodox. Miami is one of them. LA Galaxy, where you have the guy from Barcelona, from blanking on his name right now. The young kid. Or whatever. Him, world class. I went to a game with Javi to watch him play the Earthquakes. He was on the bench. It was 0-0. He went in. They won 3-1. And he went in with 40 minutes left, and he had a goal and 2 assists, and it looked like I was going against my high school girls team. Like, he was so much better, and it was so easy. He was laughing while he was playing. But that guy also comes from Europe. And now teams are trying to buy him back. But I'm saying that's the difference. If you have this kid who failed out of Europe, essentially, came there dominating.
Yeah.
Or LAFC. Half their team is the French old national team. Giroud, Lloris, there's a couple other guys are all there.
Isn't Bale there now?
He retired, but he was there. Chiellini was there, but retired. But like those old guys, bro, they win the Open Cup.
Yeah.
Like those guys are washed. They failed out of Europe. Ronaldo left Europe. Teams are still trying to bring Ronaldo back.
Okay, yeah, that's the
And
difference.
I'm not saying Messi's washed either. I think there's plenty of teams in Europe that would take Messi back, and I think he can play at that level. I just think the argument of the Saudi league is trash is not a good argument because look at the players that are there and they're better. I mean, didn't they scrimmage and didn't Ronaldo's team smack them like 6-2 or something like that?
I'm not sure.
I think in a like friendly.
I remember they played in a friendly. Ronaldo scored I think a hat trick or a brace.
Yeah.
And then after they subbed all the starters out, I think Inter Miami, was it Inter Miami or it was PSG?
Something like
No,
that.
I'm talking about the PSG when PSG played. I'm sorry.
But see, I just think the Saudi league, the top, especially the top 4 teams are really really class. I think they could even play in Europe and be somewhat of a. They could like compete in the Champions League. Like they could definitely compete in the Champions League. But I just think it's people, and mainly it's just Ronaldo haters just want to throw the league away because he's there. But if he was in the MLS, or if Messi was in Saudi with him, they would not. They wouldn't say anything. Like it's the same argument when he went to Italy. Oh, Italy sucks.
And honestly, Messi is the kind of player that's protected. Kind of like certain people in politics, they're protected by the media. And they only talk good about them. They never say nothing bad about them. Messi's that kind. You know, he's protected by the media. They never give him a hard interview. They never call him out on it.
It's the Epstein of is that
who's that?
Epstein?
Yeah. But you know, he's like that. You know what I mean? But I think what we're talking about is that we definitely have to go to a World Cup game together.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that would be
I don't care if we have to sit in the very last seat.
A dream come true, like watching like a nice game, you know?
Yeah.
Like a nice game. Imagine if like Mexico and the US play in the World Cup
That'd be crazy,
qualifier. I mean, in a group stage.
Yeah.
Or even like they get in the round 16 or something. Bro, that's like the biggest game, like at the biggest stage.
Down, bro.
Yeah.
The stadium would fall
you know,
down.
like something like that, or it's crazy.
I'd rent a plane and fly above it. Bro.
Or it's like an Argentina France, like a rematch, you know, on the
or like a Brazil Argentina or something like. Where it's so different. Like, and the thing is, our stadiums are built to like. I think because they name dropped. I think like AT&T Stadium. The Coliseum.
They're built by real engineers.
Yeah.
Well,
bro, just it's it just they fit like so many people compared to like this sits 26,000.
Yeah.
We sit 108,000.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like
they're not built out of like old like container ships. You know, just like
They're just a little bit. It's a little bit higher tier, and I think it's gonna be exciting. I think it's just overall just gonna be a better experience. Like I just said, like I think a lot of times they go to these smaller countries to try to build up the economy. But like I said, those people usually don't go and don't try to experience the economy. They go just to the games. They go straight to their hotel because it's dangerous.
Yeah. No, I actually am not against them going to these countries, and I think it's good, especially because it's the World Cup, right? It's not like the U.S. Cup. So like, I think it's cool that they get to travel. But I do agree with you. Like they should do like maybe don't go to like go to a more developed place, you know, or like, if you have time, like actually. Like they could, I don't know.
Well, it's bids. So the thing is bids. So it's whoever pays the most money, which is already kind of sketchy.
Yeah.
It's not like you all enter and it's like, oh, I want to do it, I want to do it, I want to do it. It's who's gonna pay the most money, and then whoever pays the most money essentially gets the bid.
Like Zimbabwe ain't.
Well, it's like, bro, how in the world did this Qatar always has money, but it's like. Bro, like they chose that over France.
Yeah.
Like, they chose that over like Germany. Like they chose that over England. Like another huge World Cup would be if it goes to England. Like in all the historic, you get Stamford Bridge.
Oh my God, I don't think another country has more
historic
stadiums than English.
Bro, you could say go to Stoke, bro, and it does not matter. Everyone will be there. Go to Wrexham. Everyone will go and show up to watch that game there. Like you could play everywhere. So
that'd be sick.
Yeah, that would be really cool. On the topic, we did this tie. Do you have an all-time starting 11?
An all-time starting 11? All-time?
Yeah, all-time.
Okay, I'm gonna for sakes, I'm gonna do a 4-3-3.
Alright.
Center back, the legendary Sergio Ramos.
Okay.
At the other center back, probably I think I'm gonna do a little bit like more like modern. I'm gonna do Van Dijk.
Okay.
Van Dijk. At left back, I'm gonna do Roberto Carlos.
Okay.
Right back, I'm gonna do
Ashley Young.
I think I might be a little controversial here, but I'm gonna do at right back. I'm gonna do Dani Carvajal. I think he's really underrated guy. He's performed with Madrid. He's been there the longest out of any player I've known. His whole life. It's just 13. He's been there. Legendary player. The midfield, I'm gonna say Ronaldinho. Ronaldinho, the midfield. Toni Kroos. And let's see. Third one there. You know, I really like Iniesta.
Okay.
Iniesta. And although I'm
So you playing a flat 3 then? Okay.
Iniesta, although he's a Barcelona guy, but can't deny he's class.
Yeah.
Up there, I'll have Ronaldo, Cristiano. I'll have Messi there, and on the other side I'll have Giroud. Just kidding.
No, he doesn't know who that is. So.
No, on the other side I'll have Neymar.
Neymar. So Ronaldo as a striker, and then the other two around him.
Yeah, Neymar and Messi.
Not bad.
Yeah. I think that's a
Anyone
solid squad.
on your bench?
Yeah, we have tied 5 guys on the bench.
5 guys on the bench?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and you never gave a keeper.
Oh, I never gave a keeper, huh? Iker Casillas, the legendary Iker Casillas.
Yeah.
On the bench, I need to have a goalkeeper on the bench because he gets hurt. I would like to have there on the bench.
I feel like there's only one answer, bro.
Who?
It has to be Neuer, bro. There's no way you're gonna leave him
Put
out.
on Neuer?
Bro. Yeah.
Yeah, you think so? You
I
think
think
Neuer?
so. Who else? Buffon?
Yeah, I'll think Buffon.
Or I don't know who the goalie was that won the 2 Ballon d'Ors, but maybe he was good. I don't think anyone's ever seen any clips of him ever.
I was gonna say Buffon, just longevity wise.
Okay. Neuer's been playing forever too, though.
Yeah, that's true. I think I like Buffon better though.
Okay.
Just because Neuer talked smack about Cristiano
Okay.
a lot.
Even though he scored like 8 goals.
You know, another guy too. Actually, I want to scratch. I'm gonna go with underrated players. Scratch Buffon. I'm gonna do Jan Oblak.
Okay.
Jan Oblak. I think another underrated player. I think he should have gotten way more awards.
Well, bro, the problem was he played at Atletico Madrid instead of one of the big name clubs.
If he played for Madrid or Barcelona.
Well, there was a time I want to say I think Chelsea tried to buy him. If he went to Chelsea, I think his career skyrockets. It was right after Courtois came to Madrid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. So that's one on my bench. Second one on my bench. I'm gonna have Marcelo there, defender. I'm gonna have Zlatan on the bench. So that's
Got 2 more.
I'm gonna have. Ooh, I can't believe I didn't say this guy. He deserves a starting spot, but just for sakes, I'm gonna say Zidane. Zidane.
Right.
You know what? I think I'm gonna switch Zidane for Iniesta. Iniesta on the bench. I'm gonna put Zidane in my starting 11.
Dang, bro, you're gonna hurt his feelings, dude.
And then one more. Let's see. One more.
Lucas Vasquez.
I'm gonna do another midfielder. Andrea Pirlo.
Okay. It's class.
Yeah.
Who's the coach?
Who's the coach? Julen Lopetegui. I'm just kidding. No, the coach. I would say
I have a favorite coach, so no matter who they say to me, it's the same guy every single time.
Jose Mourinho.
Yeah,
the coach.
that's my guy. I don't care.
Jose Mourinho.
Yeah.
I don't care who's on the team. That's my guy. I'm rocking with him.
Let me know. Let me know if you guys like my starting 11 or if it's trash.
We'll eventually have an episode where we have about 5 or 6 of us and we debate.
Who's the
Because
best?
Ty's been wanting to do this for a long time, so
An actual
we
debate.
fun and Ty. I don't remember exactly what Ty said for his team, but it was a 4-3-3 as well, and it was very similar to yours, but he had a few different guys in there. But I think you guys' team would kind of battle it out pretty well.
All right.
Yeah.
Excited.
Yeah.
What we gotta do is we gotta put them into like ChatGPT and be like, hey, which team would win?
Ooh.
You know,
That's a good
something like
idea.
that.
That's a good idea. We should do that.
Or like, you know, that what's that?
Like a
AI
bracket,
one?
like Isaac's team, Ty's team, Pete's team, and like shit like that. That would be a good idea. But last thing before we end this podcast, because we got a game we got to get to. Starting this season, you're gonna be the voice of Yuba FC and announce the games over the live stream.
Oh yeah. Pretty excited about that actually.
Yeah.
Have you been working out? Can you give us a little quick
You
like?
gotta throw.
Google.
Warm up.
I'll be like, I'm gonna take some inspiration from Andres Cantor, the Argentinian, and a little bit from the other Brazilian guy that I like too. But it's gonna be something like, like Yannick se la pasa Taiwo, dispara, gol, 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 gol. You know, something.
Okay.
But Ty's hurt, so he's never gonna play.
Yeah. Sorry, Ty.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be something like that. But I'm pretty excited about that. Actually, I think it's gonna be really fun. I'm gonna be able to be creative, you know, and I feel like I like being creative with things. So yeah.
Are you gonna do the Spanglish, where it's half Spanish, half English, or are you going to Spanish or just English or?
I think I'm gonna do Spanglish.
Spanglish?
Yeah. I think
we can put some subtitles on there for the people.
I think a lot of people are used to that when they watch the Spanish league. There's this guy that announces there that he uses some words that are, he may say some words like I don't know, I can't come to mind, but he'll say like one word in Spanish, but you know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, if you watch football, like I always say, no matter what language you're speaking, if you know football, you know what they're saying.
Yeah. So I think I'll probably do a little both. More English than I'll try to do more English, but like goal, yelling goal, or something.
You're
like
not gonna do like that one American guy where he said "Hawk Tua" when he made a shot, bro.
Oh my god,
bro, they gotta be banned, bro.
American announcers are so bad, bro.
Bro, he literally said "Hawk Tua" when he shot it, bro.
ESPN, you gotta stop, please.
Stop giving Messi assists for when he passes to someone else to get an assist.
The hockey assist?
Yeah, bro. This guy's like, he's playing 2K where I used to get plus 50 XP because I passed it to a guy and it was called pass to assist.
Somebody told me it's called a hockey assist.
Yeah, because that's what they do in
hockey, yeah.
But it just, to me, it's just, when I saw that, I was like.
You guys sound like Messi haters.
No, I think Messi's class. I can't speak for this guy.
Yeah.
But I keep telling everybody, we gotta get Kenji on here with Ty. Or Kenji on here with you, bro.
Have them go at it.
Oh yeah, bro, they'll start wrestling each other or something.
Yeah, we can't have that.
Yeah, but I think we've been going for pretty long. I had fun. But on here, we're gonna have to have you on again.
That was a great time.
Have to have you on again, and
great pod.
Let's go get a dub tonight, yeah. And
let's do it. Hey, before we go, can we all go Sue?
You want to?
Una, dos, tres, Sue.